Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hamid. This is Heavy Metal FPL, and in this video we're going to review Game Week 13. Quick recap of the game week. We started off with Man City and Liverpool being 1-1. A lot of people captained Haaland or Salah for this game week, and they both turned out to be good choices. Haaland got the goal for Man City, and later on in the game, Salah got the assist with Alexander-Arnold equalizing the score. Darwin Núñez and Tsimikas both blanked in this game, but that was to be expected in such a hard fixture. Alvarez is looking like a bit of a concern right now because out of the last 4 games that he's played, he only got 1 assist and he blanked in this game as well. Next game was West Ham versus Burnley. Now, Mohamed Kudus ended up saving the blushes for West Ham in this game. They were losing 1-0 to Burnley, but then he came up with 2 assists, one which was an own goal and the second which was for Soucek, who ended up sealing the deal, winning the game for West Ham 2-1, and he's looking like a good pick for West Ham as well. Luton 2-1 versus Crystal Palace. Now, a lot of people got Eze in for this game specifically. He ended up blanking and coming off injured. Olise was the one who scored for Crystal Palace, and they lost their clean sheet in this game as well. So any of the defenders ended up blanking except for Ward, who got the assist for Olise. Next was Newcastle versus Chelsea. Now, Newcastle went on another one of their rampages at home. They beat Chelsea 4-1. Isak scoring a goal coming back from injury. Gordon got a goal and an assist. And Lascelles also scored a goal for Newcastle. Some people had him on their bench and some people actually had him starting. And he's turning out to be a good pick at just 4.0 million for Newcastle's defense. Sterling ended up scoring 1 free kick in this game, so he's looking like another good option if you fancy that Chelsea attack. Cole Palmer is a bit cheaper, but he's on penalties. Sterling gets more involved and is more advanced in the attack, takes much more chances than Cole Palmer. So both are good picks for Chelsea. You might want to consider both of them for the upcoming game weeks. Next, we had Brighton, who finally got a win against Nottingham Forest. They won 3-2. Ferguson scored a goal. João Pedro, if you remember him, he came on for the injured Ansu Fati and he scored 2 goals. So 3-2 for Brighton, and Gross, who is getting 90 minutes on most of Brighton's fixtures recently, he got 2 assists in this game. Bournemouth won 3-1 versus Sheffield United. Now, a lot of people got in Solanke for this game. I still think he's a good pick, but he blanked in this game. Arsenal 1-0 versus Brentford, which was kind of a boring game, and Arsenal looked like they were kind of out of ideas. Their main attacking pick is Saka, and he didn't look very good on this match. Him and Martinelli both play really far away from goal. They're kind of hugging the touchline in their position, but Saka has the numbers to back him up, and he's kind of consistently doing well, but not too flashy. He got an assist again in this game towards the end of the match as they ended up winning with a goal from Havertz. Now, Arsenal's defense still looks really good with Saliba and Gabriel, and all of their backline getting clean sheets for this game. Next day, we had Aston Villa versus Spurs. This was expected to be a high-scoring game, and the game was very, very entertaining. Now, Cash and Diaby both looked ineffective while they were on the field, and they were subbed off at halftime, making them less likely picks for Aston Villa as we move forward. Son was very frustrating in this game. He got 3 offside goals chalked off. So he could have scored on another day, but it just was not to be. Watkins is looking like a very solid pick, and he is looking as fixture proof as it can be for an attacker in this game. Like I'd put him on par with Salah and Haaland at this point. Got a flashing light at me here from the sun's reflection, but yeah, so Watkins looking very good. He got a goal to get the win for Aston Villa against Spurs. Pedro Porro also looking like one of the best attacking defenders in this game, and he got an assist earlier in the game with the corners being taken for Tottenham. Next, we had Man United versus Everton. Now, Everton put on a barrage of attacks in the beginning of the game, but they somehow ended up not scoring. So Man United, if you've got Onana in your team, or if you've got Lindelof or any of their defenders, you kept a clean sheet, which was really, really good. But I still don't fancy Man United's defense that much, given their upcoming fixtures, and I just don't trust them so much as of now. That being said, Rashford scored a penalty which was given to him by Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes got an assist towards the end of the game. And also, a highlight from this game was Garnacho's goal, which is one of the best goals in the Premier League this season, and I think will go down as a classic. Really, really amazing goal if you haven't seen it. Lastly, we had Fulham versus Wolves, which was an entertaining 3-2 win for Fulham. And Hwang Hee-chan got one of the goals for Wolves as he stepped up to take a penalty for them. Another disappointing game week for me. This is the third red arrow in a row, and I think this is the worst out of the three because a lot of people actually did really well in this game. I just wasn't one of them. I had the collection of players, just the right collection of players to do really, really bad. But this has forced me to really look at some of the players that are on my team and just analyze how well they're doing so far. So what I did immediately was I sold Diaby because he was taken off at halftime, and I've been wanting to get MBEUMO in my team for quite a while. And I had just the right amount of money to do it before MBEUMO increased in price. So I sold Diaby and I got MBEUMO in. So I've got him ready now for his upcoming run of very good fixtures. That's one problem I've gotten rid of. Now, another problem is Julian Alvarez. He hasn't looked good. He didn't look good in that game against Liverpool, but I'm willing to give him a chance. He plays against Tottenham next, and Tottenham attack a lot and they're vulnerable in defense, and they're going to be playing against Man City at the Etihad. So I really want Alvarez to do well in that match. I'm gonna see how well this goes, but down the line, if things don't improve, I'm looking to sell him for either, try to get Watkins in my team or try to get Isak or maybe even Darwin Núñez. Another concern for me, and I think an even bigger one, is Martinelli. Like I said earlier, him and Saka are both like kind of hugging the touchline in their position. Arsenal's attack doesn't look very promising, at least when you watch their games. And Martinelli, the more I look back at it, the more I realize it was a mistake to get him in instead of the injured Madison. So what I should have done at that time was maybe look more like I was more banking on that game that Arsenal had versus Burnley at home. But he ended up blanking. So then, like, I was just stuck with Martinelli, who doesn't seem to be that threatening. His next game is against Wolves, so I'm going to see if I'll give him another chance for that. But there are a lot of good midfield picks as of the moment, and I'm very, very tempted to just go for a -4 and maybe sell him for someone like Gordon or any of the other really good midfield picks that are in the game as at the moment. He just seems like too much value, too much money put into a player who doesn't seem to be threatening at all when you watch them play. Now, Son is another concern because it's his third blank in a row. He did get 3 goals that were chalked off for offside, but this is the way that Aston Villa play. They always try to catch you offside. So there's not much to say on that. That being said, though, Son was getting into some good positions, and he looks to be the main guy for Tottenham when they attack. Now, they play against Man City, and he has a good record against them. So I'm willing to see. Like, I'm not a hard sell on Son right now. Lascelles got 7 points, but he was on my bench, so I didn't get to benefit from that. I am considering starting him in game week 14 though, instead of Mitchell, mainly because Crystal Palace are going to play against West Ham, and recent history shows that game, Crystal Palace versus West Ham, is always a high scoring one. So not much potential for a clean sheet over there. I'm considering Lascelles over Mitchell in my starting lineup for game week 14. That wraps it up for this video, guys. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you soon with another video in preparation for game week 14.